Welcome back to the Knights of Knee. I'm Jordan, and today we're going to look at the Artisan Guild's 3D printed Manticore monster that they have. I saw this probably about a month ago, and I've pretty much done all the corrective green stuff that I would normally want to do, at least for a miniature that I'm just going to put together really quick and paint. But I wanted to show everybody, again, another 3D print after it's done. Before I've painted it, so you can see what it is and what to expect when you print it. I would say that this was the first multi-part pre-supported miniature I did, and now here later, after doing probably a couple hundred things, I would say that while other people probably have no problem using pre-supported stuff, I prefer to do the supports myself. I think that you can use less supports and put them in the right place if you do them yourself. Then the pre-supported versions come, and I've used a couple pre-supported objects now, like I've got some Goblin Chariots I did, and some Wolf Riders, and the pre-supported arm for one of the Goblin Wolf Riders, at least I can remember most recent, it keeps failing, and I went in and I chopped all the pre-supports off and did my own, and I had no problem. And I'm not sure, it's probably user error, to be honest. I mean, I haven't had an LED screen or anything else go off in my printer, but I have had a filament, that FEP screen in there that gives and pulls while you're printing. The whole reason 3D printer pretty much works. I've had that have a slice and a burr on it in two different places, and I ended up having to replace it. And what a nightmare! Like, replacing your FEP screen is a huge pain. I would say, I mean, I haven't had to replace the LED screen, but there's just a monster of a task, and it's not hard, it's just really time consuming. I did not like doing that for sure. But hey, hopefully I never have to do that again. So let's look at this. It goes together really well. There's not a ton of gap filling. I'm still an amateur 3D printer, so I'm not sure. Like, I know I had to clip some of the, they had kind of like how models have those little pegs that fit into the holes. They had some of those for the arms and the head and all that. I had to shave some of those down a little bit. And that's a bit harder to do with resin because I like to cut stuff with a box knife that just shatters resin. So you have a choice of either sanding it down with sandpaper or heating it up in hot water and then cutting it. Helps quite a bit, at least not with having a shattering experience. But for the most part, I just went out with a box knife and then used a little bit of green stuff, put that in there, wedged it in there, let it cure a little bit, then glue. And I propped it up in piece by piece by piece. Finally, I did it. I didn't do a whole lot of shaving down or cutting where the tips of the supports would touch pieces of the model. So you can see kind of what that's like. If you really look at it, you'll see, especially on the base here on the side that's showing, there's all those little dots and nips, and it's not perfectly smooth. That was the side at the tip top at the end of printing, so it drooped a lot. So I'm going to sand that down with sandpaper because I do want this one to look pretty nice. But for the most part, huge fan of this. It's just an awesome model. It's got a lot of detail to it. It's got a lot of different colors, shapes, and it's huge. It's a really big model. I would say that it's probably going to have to be toned down 10 to 15% for Warhammer Fantasy battles, just to get it to be the right size. But to be clear, my Wyvern is significantly larger than this, and it's just, I printed the Wyvern way too big. It's just a monster of a miniature, if you've seen that video. But I will be using this Wyvern. I don't know if I'm going to pry him off of the base he's on and put him on a different base, or if I'm just going to use him for Dungeons and Dragons, or just to be cool, to have something neat. Not really sure what I'm going to do with it. But I thought I'd at least put this up there, share my experience with pre-supported and not supported miniatures, and at least let you guys get a look at this and see what it's like, and maybe you want one too. I would highly advise it. Artisan Guild is fantastic. I will put a link either to them or to this product from theirs in the description below. And I'm just curious on your guys' thoughts, what you think about it. So drop a line below if you want, or reach out to me, whatever works. You guys have a great day.